All right. Peace and blessings, love and light. It's your brother, Omni Amanashi, also known as Omni Omnis. Salute to all the brothers and the sisters, the gods and the goddesses of the planet Earth family. All right. Now, today we're going to do a build about astrology. The title is Astrology 101. Is there free will? You already know this is a OmniVision EDU presentation, Black news. And again, my focus is on Black history and scientific literature, all right? Natural science, all right? So those are my main focuses. Science is important as far as your knowledge and understanding of the universe and the things around you, as well as within you, the body, biology, dealing, I'm saying, with the human anatomy, physics, the study of, the physical things, smaller units of matter and understanding the mechanics of that. And, ecology, the study of the ecosystem. And so I believe science is a knowledge system. And then we have a belief system, right? Which are religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, certain mainstream world religions that promote certain ideologies. All right. But today we're going to do a bit about astrology. Now, astrology is dope to me. I've been studying now probably about a good 5-6 years. All right. And now my study is unique because I'm doing book study and I'm doing natural observation. And so what makes it dope is it's one thing to read something, but it's another thing to experience, to see an individual, look for certain characteristics and know the astrology. And then when you see them acting out certain characteristics, you're able to, put the pieces together. And a lot of the times I'll be on point, I'll be right. And there's certain things that certain astrological signs say if they got certain energies. You feel me? And you can also, learn it in that way. But anyway, peace and blessings to the family. Ashe. Just doing this live stream. If you want to show your support for more content, more videos, hit up the Cash App for donations to support the channel. CashApp.com, $OMNINATURA360 LLC family. Cash App, all right, /$OMNISNATURA360 LLC. All right. Now, astrology can be broken down into 4 elements, the same way that we have the 4 fundamental elements in science family, right? You have plasma, which is fire. You have air, which is gas, right? You have, right? And then you have earth, which is solid. And so those are different elements in the astrological system that determines specific qualities. All right. So fire signs would be Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. And so there's 3 of every kind. There's 3 fire, 3 air, 3 earth. Air is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. All right. Then we have the water with Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. All right. They're emotional, they're spongy, moody. They could be good friends, but at the same time, they could take things personal as well. And so everybody has pros and cons. The earth signs are like materialists. They worry about, material things. That's what matters to them the most. I'm saying? Me and my homegirl was talking about it, and we was talking about love languages. And I guess that's what you could call it. You could call it whatever you want to call it. But different people value different things. And, I've been studying it because it's helped me in my personal journey. You know what I'm saying? And just understanding the why. Like I was telling this one sister, she was religious, but I was like, yeah, love, I'm just one of the people that want to get to the why of things, understand the mechanics. Like, okay, you can feel some way about something, but there's another thing to understand the why. And so in the convo with my homegirl, I pretty much came up with a theory that people are living out their astrologies, their energies, right? That is inherent from their ancestors, their mother, their father, their grandfather, their grandmother. You feel me? I believe just like DNA is inherited and passed down, by heredity, that soul is the spirit. You know what I'm saying? The times of incarnation of an individual's birth. And I do know in science that light is the catalyst of all chemical reactions. Like even when you look at water becoming versus a snowflake, you feel me? A H2O. All right. One is a liquid, the other is a solid. The only difference is the temperature. And so if you know a little bit about science, you know that temperature is like, it's like a remote control. It's a mechanism of communication to the atoms. When the temperature changes in any substance, in any object, right, then the physical material of that object begins to change. And so I believe that astrology is important because technically astrology is the science of the stars, the science of the celestial bodies that govern our solar system. All right. So our solar system is one of many, right? But it's surrounded by 12 other main systems, right? So we have Aries, right? We have Taurus, that's 30 degrees. So it's 360 degrees, 30 degrees, every constellation, and it's 12 constellations that equals 360. So it's 30 degrees, Aries, 30 degrees, Taurus, 30 degrees, Gemini, right? So 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees, right? And then what is 120 degrees would be Cancer, all right? Then we got Leo is next, right? And so it's a system family. And so I believe, like I said, that astrology is passed down. And with me in my astrology, I know that I'm a Libra sun, but I'm on a Scorpio cusp. And so I like stimulating, intelligent conversations. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy people who are not just being what, I enjoy authenticity. I enjoy, and I think that's the Scorpio, influence. Like Scorpio don't really like too much small talk or too much like I guess minor relations or relationships that are like surface based. You feel me? Like Scorpio like real deep, meaningful things. And so you'll find people with that type of energy, will make good priests, will make good spiritualists, oracle, a Dalai Lama, whatever it may be. Not just the Scorpio, but any war sign. As far as being deep, being very spiritual and intuitive, yeah, the Scorpio is definitely one of them when it comes to that. Very inquisitive, observative. Like I said, me, I'm in October. My mother is in November. And like I said, I believe it's something that can be inherited. And so every individual, like, first of all, people got to stop fighting, family. That's one of the things that I don't like, that I disagree with. People don't understand because most people's minds are shaped and it's based on what they've been told. No one is really organically, authentically thinking, you know what I'm saying? Or, they're not really tapped into the universe in themselves as they should be. And so, I just believe that astrology is a good route to show you your pros and your cons, and it shows you your superpowers. And so you don't got to try to be something that you're not supposed to be. You will find fortune in who you are, all right? And a lot of people find success in being who they are, but they may not know the astrology. But I guarantee you, if I did a reading and I went into the chart, then I would see, this individual is good at this because, they're an earth sign. I just went on I just had a meeting the other day, and the guy was talking, and I was just telling him, I know a little bit about astrology, but he had mentioned being organized and being structured, and it was just certain words he was using. I was like, you wouldn't happen to be a Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Virgo, would you? You know what I'm saying? And then individual told me birthday was in January. So it was Capricorn. And so when I hear an individual talk, I can decipher what energy it is. And I think it's important for parents to know astrology, for your kids to understand how to parent your kids. A lot of people deal with the general one size fits all right? One size fits all. And that's not true. Like even in Madison, it doesn't work like that. I mean, they try to make it seem like it works like that, but that's why you have a lot of side effects, all right? Chemistry is about the simulation of molecules and making sure there's some type of harmonic compatibility. All right. And so generally people would do that, but you're supposed to base the mathematical formula on what it is. Okay. Just not mix matching stuff and saying one shoe fits all. And so, like I said, for air sign children, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you want to get them into books, you want to get them into museums. They probably like documentaries, they probably like going on, like, and if they're fire sign, they probably like going on trips. They like to be adventurous, travel, anything that's active. You know what I'm saying? And so if you got a fire sign child, they're not going to like it if you got them confined, constrained, and too many rules, and they can barely do anything. Like, they're going to break a lot of rules because in their astrology, Leo, they're Sagittarius, they're Aries, and being a parent, they don't teach it in our schools, but we should know that. We should learn that because it would help you be a more effective parent. If you got a Gemini child, they're going to be intelligent, but sometimes they're a little bit too intelligent. And I got a set of Gemini twins whom I love. I raised them, and I will always love them. But I know in parenting, sometimes they will tell the truth, but sometimes, they might not. So I understand that helps me in the parenting process with astrology, and just knowing and being aware of what's going on. And so anyway, I'm good. I'm living life. People that I'm not hanging around with, I feel like may feel some type of way, but I feel peaceable, family. I'm not getting to see. Some things are not exactly how we wanted to be, but it's better than it was, though. It really is. And I just thank the universe for all the attacks that I've been through and just giving, teaching for free, and trying to help save animals. I really want to be a part of a 5013C and just help children and teach children about the universe and physics, and try to integrate that into spirituality, because that's what the universe tells me to do. So the build is about free will. I believe that a lion is supposed to be a lion. I believe that a tiger is going to be a tiger. I believe that a giraffe is going to have a long neck and have to eat leaves off a tree, swing their neck, certain stuff they do. You feel me? A gorilla is going to beat on his chest. It's going to eat bananas. That's the nature of things, and that's what I'm saying, family. I believe everything in nature, everything in the universe, there's a nature to it, right? The elephant, one of the biggest animals in the jungle. You feel me? One of the biggest animals we have on land, and it's one of the most gentle creatures. All right, and so nature, I feel like astrology is dealing with the nature of things. You feel me? You're learning the nature of this person. You're learning the spirit, the soul of this person. And I use astrology because it's interesting. But I also use it for protection, because I'm an individual who's very, like, my individualism is very sky high. Like, I don't need a lot of people influencing my mind as to what I need to do. Like, my mother and my father was a Scorpio and a Taurus. That's 180-degree difference. And they're supposed to be counter opposites in astrology. And so it's very, very common that you have a Scorpio and a Taurus come together and create unions. And so anyway, I come from those type of people, family. And so I'm a very individual. My individualism is very high. And I just want to be able to be useful in the universe. I want to be able to say that my mother and my father having me, was purposeful, and that I made some type of difference. You feel me? In the universe. And so that's why I do what I do. And I hope that it can inspire others. But I know it's going to make some others mad. I know some others may get jealous that I'm not living the life that they live. You feel it? They may feel some type of way that I'm not, but I'm not judging you for what you got going on. I'm not in your business. I'm not talking to people about you, about what you got going on. And if y'all learn a little bit of astrology, like I'm telling you, you can learn the intentions of people, right? So just to go through it right quick, you have different zodiac signs that are associated with different houses, all right? So you have Mercury, which represents Gemini, which is the house of communication. Individuals who have these placements will be very good, like I said, intellectually, at conversation, coming up with ideas, and just being very high paced when it comes to change and adaptation to society, and just very highly social because it is the closest planet to the sun. All right. Then you got Venus, which is the house of love, the house of compatibility, the house of companionship. You feel me? And this is going to let you know what, depending on where your placements are, it's going to let you know how you are in relationships, in close relationships. Whether it is like a, man and his wife, and as husband and wife in a relationship, or if it's, yeah, pretty much that's what it is. It's dealing with romance and companionship. So yeah, it is just strictly romance. You feel me? So those placements tell you a lot about an individual. And then you have what Earth, which is the house of like material growth, material wealth. You feel me? And then you have Mars, which is the house of conflict. It's to let you know how individual would behave in the situation, where they may have a fire sign placement, or they may have a Capricorn, which is very highly individualized as well, but they're kind of bossy. The earth signs can kind of be like bullyish a little bit sometimes. The Taurus is like that too. But like I said, it's pros and cons to every sign. But you just got to know who you are, what you are, and learn how to utilize it, the best to your ability. And that's what I plan to do, because I like intelligence, and I like things that are like organic, authentic. And I just never been the type of individual that like to be mixed or thrown in a classroom with everybody else. Like we building. Like I like even coming up. Like I never been one of the guys that like to, run trains on girls. You feel me? Like young guys, experience that coming up. You feel me? That's a part of a learning and whatnot. But in my experience, I always cuff my girls, like the girls I deal with. I cuff them, like, because the Scorpio, like I said, the individualism, the romance, you feel me, the intimacy, all of that Scorpio vibe, you feel me? I'm like, damn, back in the day, I did cuff like most of the girls I dealt with. I kept doing it, I kept doing it. But anyway, different astrologies, family. Like, you just gotta learn it, like, and how to utilize it, how it's affecting you. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has a special gift, and I feel like if the universe created you, and it's just made from the highest intelligence that exists. You feel me? The sun and the moon is created by these same forces. How could the universe be wrong by creating the individual, even if you disagree with them, even if you don't like them and you don't understand them? Just know that the universe created them the same way that there's different bandwidths spectrum. You feel me? There's different chakras in the chakra system based on different frequencies. All right. And so even on the keyboard, the same thing, the piano, different tones. You feel me? And there's no need to be mad at each other. Like, just blend with the tones that go with your melody, with your vibe. And so that's what I'm on, family. So love and light. On this bean green juice. Still be doing a little juices sometimes. But yeah, I'm just I feel like there's no free will. The individuals are their astrology. Individuals are their spirit. Individuals are their soul, right? Even the word soul translates as sun in Latin, sol, S-O-L, right? It means sun. The soul is your sun energy. Scientists call it the electromagnetic biosphere, all right? Some people call it the human aurora. But there are a lot of modern Western scientists who do not agree. They feel like it's a pseudoscience, right? That there is no soul. The soul is the sun energy, all right? The soul is the sun energy, family. And everything that lives has heat. If you look at an infrared technological device, in the infrared wavelengths, when you look at a person, when you look at an animal, when you look at a tree, you'll see heat coming from it. So anything that is biological, is living, is in physical reality, is living, it has a heat signature. The earth has a molten core. There's a heat signature. The sun has a core as well, right? There's a heat signature. Everything that lives has a heat signature. We call that the soul. All right, whether European, Western scholars want to agree to that or not, I call it the biosphere, the aurora. All right, and so these light energies are light sources, right, that influence your electrical and magnetic field. All right, and so where individual may have a lot of Libras, like me, I got a lot of Libras. I feel like morality guides a lot of my decision making. Like, because to do something that's too immoral would crush me. It would crush my mind. It would crush my soul, my spirit, everything. Now, if you guys don't believe me, the Libra is the only sign in the zodiac that does not represent a living being. Instead, it is represented as a scale, all right? The scales of balance, the scales of justice, the scales of Ma'at, is another source, another representation of the Libra energy. It's represented by the goddess Ma'at, which has she has ostrich feathers. You know what I'm saying? She's kind of like, she's trying to keep the scales balanced, all right? And this is where the idea of justice comes from, the idea of fairness, the idea of morality. People don't like me. They don't like that about me. You feel me? Like, oh, bro, he cool. And nah, bro, it's just, that's what the universe told me to be. That's what my mother and my father, when they created my union, that's what they made it. And so I have to live that out. And I believe that there is no free will, and that if the universe puts something in you, there's no one that's going to convince you to go against that, family. All right? No type of teaching, no type of nothing. And so I'm going to be intellectual. I'm going to have deep substance. And those are, that's why I hit hard, and I can create, I can overload this internet with content, and so that's where the fire energy come in at. Okay, so people, make sure you hit the PayPal, all right? PayPal at Lacey Jones 1. Make donations, all right? Now, that's people that I deal with, family. Sometimes I wonder, like, hey, I know people who's supposed to be woke, supposed to be conscious. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have enough courage to be public. They don't have enough courage to come in front of people and speak. Now, I've done shows, like, when I was younger, I've done like poetry readings, right? When I was like 16, 17. You feel me? They come on stage in front of people. You feel me? It's hundreds of people in there. You feel me? One person. And I believe everything went well. Like when I was in sports, athletics. So my athletic background is pretty big. You feel me? And so anyway, I come on stage and I'm a little nervous. You feel me? But the energy is like, you can hear the little chickens in the background, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I don't know, they just received me, family. I don't know, it was a good experience. I was like, hey, I was nervous at first, but when I got up there, started, people, they, I don't know, I guess I look like somebody that people would like to like, you feel me? and everything went well. I rapped, I played basketball. I've been to the, what is they call it, the World Sports Disney Complex in Orlando, Florida. This is where the top teams in basketball from out of the nation, the top teams, they join and have these games in Orlando, Florida. And I was pretty big deal. We had college coaches there. You feel me? And it was a good experience. And you know, I'm used to being the tallest one, but yeah, when I used to play ball, yeah, some of them guys was about 7 feet out there, man. And then rapping, I've done that. Performances on stage, you feel me? Not 100, but 1,000 people, 1,500 people, stuff like that. And it went well, man. I just gotta have a passion. It gotta be something that I'm in love with. I would love to engage with other people in it. And then this is another thing with people competing. Like I said, it ain't about you being better than nobody. It's just about, like, how can somebody lead you in something that you're more advanced in? All right. You go to people based on their expertise, what you do, what you're good at, how good are you in it, you know? And so the better you are, the better. If somebody is better than me in the area, there's no way that I would try to lead them. That doesn't make sense. If I'm better than an individual in a specific area, then I'm qualified to lead in that specific area because I've been doing it longer. I put more time, more energy into it. I can have the logical, drawn out conversation with the individual, and then we go over the details, the specifics of what we're saying, and make sure that all the information is being, is being processed and it's making sense. And that's what I'm all about. And so, like I said, man, 5 years of learning astrology, I'm 100% convinced. Now, I'm not an individual that's belief-based anymore. I came from a Christian background. You feel me? My father was a pastor. And so, you know, I've had my fair share of time in Christianity. And so I learned some other things outside of that, right? And then I began to ask questions. And asking those questions brought me to where I am today. So I believe that nature is the divinity. When they talk about in the beginning and all of this type of stuff in the Bible, I know some of it is metaphoric, some of it is figurative, and it's symbolic, you know. But I know that for a man to document, right, to record, he has to breathe, he has to have oxygen. How can an individual say what happened before humans existed or record and say that this happened? And, you know, there was no one here before nature. I believe that nature was in the beginning. I believe that nature is the source of life. I believe that wherever things are natural, there's more life. When you go to the city, when you look at the big city, you see the factories, the distribution centers, all these warehouses, all this smoke, all this pollution going on, right? Industrialization. And then you compare that to the country where you see deers and you see rabbits and you see coyotes and other little animals running around. You feel me? Like I said, wherever nature is, there's life, family. And so I go by Omnis, aka the nature God, because nature is my sanction. And whenever I was feeling the lowest in my life, I go hiking. I go on a nature trail, a nature walk. You feel me? And just absorb the energy that's natural and the animals and the trees. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not thinking like these people who their minds warped, their minds messed up, bro. Like they brain warped. And so when I go to nature, it's peace. You feel me? And it's healing. And so I became the nature guy. I took an interest in nature. I started cleansing my body. I ran, I conducted tests on myself. You feel me? For cleansing, to understand herbs and how they really work, and if they did work. So I'm on a whole journey, family. A whole journey. But love and light to everybody that's out there. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your day. Make the most of your Sunday. This is Sunday Soul Sessions with the Nature God, brother. I'm the Amanashi. Again, paypal.com/@LaceyJones1. All right, to make a generous donation. so we can come with more content. And I got some more videos, family. I'm about to flood the timeline. All right. So I got some joints. Y'all just be anticipating the motion. And I'm gonna give y'all some new ideas. Like, that's what I'm good at, family. I come with interesting perspectives and just a different way of viewing things. And I don't base the things that I know and the things that I believe on myself. My foundation is nature and science. If it doesn't exist in scientifically, if it doesn't exist in the natural world, then it's not real. It's not real. All right? Anything that is real, anything that is relevant should be reflective to be shown true in the natural world, family. All right? Now, people get sick, cancer, different stuff happen because people are using unnatural chemistry. I call it inorganic chemistry. Inorganic chemistry is not the same chemistry that ancient people used. All right, when they would just use the plant based on its natural chemical composition, not changing, not altering, not modifying anything. Even the term GMO, which stands for genetically modified organisms, you have watermelons without seeds. Watermelon without seeds is like a human without ovaries or testicles. How can you reproduce without seeds? All right, this shows you how modern scientists have the ability to tamper with genes, all right, with organisms to influence their biology, all right? And so anyway, family, it's on a whole nother level. And the word pharmakeia, which is what translates as sorcery in Greek, all right? Right? It comes from the word pharmaceutical. Pharmakeia means sorcery. So medicine is sorcery, all right? Medicine is sorcery, family. Putting your kids on Ritalin and all that because they're hyper. Might have been a fire sign, might have been an Aries, might have been a Leo, might have been a Sagittarius. You feel me? And they need to be outside. They need to be active. They need to be able to utilize their energy in a certain way. But, you know, the modern society want to generalize everybody because they value everybody, minimize everybody to a basic worker. And a basic worker is just a servant. All right. Doesn't matter what God put in you. Doesn't matter the instruction. Doesn't matter the passion that you have inside of you, the fire that you have inside of you to be who and whatever you are. They want you to be this. And you know, just like they did my man Shadar. What's his name? Shadar Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Deion Sanders' son. You feel me? The man is talented. He's good at what he does. You know, his numbers is professional at a professional level. You know, why to try to degrade the man to be less? Because you want him to be a sucker. You want him to be a sucker so he can kiss your ass. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how narcissists try to minimize other people to make themselves feel good and comfortable. And so anyway, it's about loving yourself. It's about balance and fairness for me. So anyway, remember, you're talking to a Libra. It's tatted on my neck right there. You're talking to a Libra, and I care about justice. I care about fairness. I care about balance. And if you would ever have a ruler, then I believe that I would make a good leader, a good ruler, because it's all I would never make an unfair judgment. And that's the worst thing that you can do. Like, judgment is all about condemnation of the guilty. You don't condemn the innocent. That's a misjudgment. And so a misjudgment is the same as a crime. You feel me? And so I don't like to misjudge. I like to take in all the information as possible, make sure I'm calculating, making sure I'm making a justified decision before I act, before I make moves. All right? And so I don't get in too many conflicts with others. I stay to myself. I'm not predatory. I'm not hurting nobody. You know, I'm trying to teach children and make a positive difference in the world, family, because that's my energies. And it just seemed like a lot of my life, people have like encouraged negative, to see you angry, to do things to make you be angry and see you angry and just be happy that everyone is angry. And that's not the way to live life, family. Life is about peace. Life is about happiness. Life is about the things that you value. And that could also be based on astrology. Like I said, I don't believe there is a free will because people are living out their astrology. Whenever I see them say something, do something that's associated with a certain characteristic, I know this person is that. I've had plenty of conversations with people, after studying, and then I'm observing people. And as I'm observing them, I begin to notice certain things. And I'm like, I think I know what type of person this is. And it's crazy how good I've gotten at it, but I'm willing to do readings as well. So if you guys want to get readings done on yourself, on your children, or on anyone, let me know. Hit up the paypal.com/@LaceyJones1. If you want to make a donation, hit up the Cash App, $OMNISNATURA360 LLC family. This is Black News 720. I'm the Vision EDU. All right, quantum thoughts. There is no place on this internet that does what we do, family. There is no place in this world. All right. Now, everybody has something to contribute to the collective, coexistence of the galactic family. You feel me? Just like I said with the elements, you got all of them coming together. The fire, the earth, the air. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about, family. So it's not about competition. Be yourself and live out the energies that the universe put in you. Because it's not about what people are telling you. They're trying to reprogram you. They're trying to redirect you. You can't go by what's natural. They've seen an elephant acting like a giraffe, acting like a hippo or something. That's weird. So you got people that's not being what they supposed to be, family, and to me it's looking weird. You feel me? And so I'm being what I'm supposed to be. I care about justice. I care about intelligence. You feel me? I care about spirituality. That's Libra mixed with Scorpio. That's what I'm supposed to be. And so people, I don't believe it's free will. I don't believe it. I believe people is living out who the hell they is and who the hell they always was. They came into this plane like that. And so that's what I believe, family, from my observation, not just studying the book. I learned the book to learn the basics of what's going on. I studied the book just to see the foundation of the understanding. And then with like real science, you got to put it to test. So I had a conversation, like I said, I was on the job site, white guy was chopping it up. We talked about a lot of different things, but that was one of the things. You know what I'm saying? And I believe astrology, people are living out these energies. And the guy was a Scorpio, I believe, too. Guy was a Scorpio, and I wonder if his wife is a Taurus. If y'all remember early in the video, if y'all go back and rewind the video, you'll see when I talked about Scorpio and the Taurus compatibility. It's very common. It's a 180-degree difference. So whatever every astrological sign, there is an opposite from you. Like the opposite from the Libra is the Aries. That's 180-degree difference. Like North Pole, South Pole. You're going straight up north, and you're going straight down south. And so a lot of the times when you have that type of balance in the zodiacs, for some reason, they end up being a common energy in your life. If it's just a child, if it's your parent, if it's a friend, you know what I'm saying? They just end up. And then, I pay attention to why people are friends. Like once I learned astrology and I see the different placements, I could tell why they get along, why they agree with each other. It just makes so much sense. I can't exist without astrology. I have to. Just so good that I learned it. All right. Love and light to the family, to everybody that's in the building. But if you agree, put yes. If you don't agree, put no. But the title is Astrology 101. Is there free will? Do you believe that you can live and exist outside of your astrology? Can you live and exist outside of your astrology, family? All right. So hold on right quick. All right. Can you live and exist outside of your astrology family? A water sign, which is spongy and moody and intuitive. It's not, if it's a man or a woman, just take heed to what I'm saying, family. Water sign, which is intuitive and spiritual, and they soaking up energy. They're not going to be an individual who walks up and initiates interactions with people. They're going to be observative. They're going to watch. Okay, if you have somebody who has that fire energy, they have, like I said, Aries, a Leo, or Sagittarius, these are the people who take initiative. They're going to initiate interactions with people naturally. They don't feel any discomfort, right? They feel better when they are interacting and initiating with others. You feel me? But for the water signs, it takes them longer to get comfortable, to open up, and to be themselves around people. And so if it's a man or a woman, how some modern females may feel like the guy's not being assertive enough. He's not being aggressive enough. If you knew anything about astrology, then maybe you would see why the energies affect men and women, and it would just make more sense. This is a conservative personality. This person is a conservative personality. So I don't know. I just observe a lot, and like I said, I've gotten pretty good at it. So I think I'm gonna keep going. But love and light to the family. I shade. Like I said, if you believe that free will is a real thing, if it's true, put yes, put a Y. If you believe that it's not true, then just comment no, family. But yeah, I thought about it. Yeah, and then my homegirl, she was saying, yeah, this is a conversation that needs to be had. She studies, and she's pretty good too. She's pretty damn good. But yeah, we talk about it, and we've had some good conversations. And yeah, it makes a lot of sense, man. Like all the people around me. And look, family, once I start learning it, I start going back doing astrology on everybody I know, like everybody around me. Like, oh, my uncle with this, oh, my, you know what I'm saying? Got them bro with that, or you know what I'm saying? And it just made so much sense. Then I understood the nature of everybody that was around me. I'm like, everybody was who and what they was. They might have didn't know astrology, but it helped make sense of it for me. You feel me? So now this is a whole new world for me, family. Now I'm addicted. I can't stop. So normally when I meet somebody, we might chop it up, have a little conversation, but then it's going to end up going into that direction of, of astrology, because I like to learn, and I like for other people to want to learn. So yeah, if y'all want to, like I said, make donations and show your support for the channel, Black News 720, it's Cash App, Omnis Natura 360 LLC. All right, Cash App.com/$ OMNISNATURA 360 LLC, family. All right, so now we're going to go into the other part of the segment. All right, because I can't share my screen. So let me go ahead and share the screen. All right, screen share. And I wanted to go to a few things and just talk about it real quick. All right. So let me share this screen. One second, family, while I upload the tab. This internet be like hit and miss sometimes. Be a little bit slow sometimes to be fast. All right, family. Now I think y'all can see this. So the idea kind of came from. So there's a term where they call randomness and predeterminism. Predeterminism, I'm gonna just explain real quick. Predeterminism is like the sun rising and setting every day. It's a mechanical system, a mechanical function. It's a mechanical system of functioning, right? And then randomness would be like an albino. Like, we got alligators, we got cobras, but then you got normal cobras, and then you got the albino cobra, but they're very rare. I think it's like 5% that albinism occurs in the wild. And so it's something that exists, but it's not common. It's like it's predetermined that most species will be encoded, genetically enriched with melanin, with carbon-based, chemistry. And then you have an organism who is born with albinism. But it's not happening back to back. It's not happening all that commonly like that. So I think that's something to take a look at. So we have predeterminism versus randomness. You feel me? And I believe astrology, which is dealing with the stars and light. I don't know if you guys were able to see the screen. The browser can't access the screen, capturing a different screen. So I don't know if y'all was able to see it or not. But yeah, that's a mechanical aspect to the universe. It's natural, but it's still kind of like a machine. It's kind of robotic. The sun will rise. The sun will set. All right. There will be spring. There will be summer. There will be fall. There will be winter. All right. Those are the cycles based on the sun, based on the energy and the way it's conditioning or influencing the planet at that time, in that position. You feel me? Because it's all about energy. So the positioning of the sun most definitely makes a difference, and because it's all about thermochemistry. You feel me? Like I said, light is the catalyst of all chemical reactions. And so the sun is a light source that influences chemical things. Human beings are biologically, like I said, we're made of natural chemicals. Chemicals aren't just the things that man made, like plastic, So anyway, a lot of the sciences come from studying nature, man. But like I said, I'm 100% convinced. And so it's like, to sum it all up, family, it's kind of like, damn, so why get mad? I seen a Leo get mad at somebody for being conservative or not being bold or not being real aggressive like how he is. So these two people with two different energies, two different astrologies. It's like, okay, you a Leo, discomfort meeting new people, being around, but dealing with somebody who may be conservative and maybe that's not their energy. So you're gonna force them to be some. And if somebody's Jedi placement, they may be very intelligent, but sometimes they're gonna lie. All right, sometimes they're gonna lie, family, and it's okay. It's the the universe gave us all different energies based on frequencies, vibrations, and it's all good. But like I said, I just like to understand. But it's like, why get mad at an individual for being who and what they are? That's just senseless. It's just like you just didn't have understanding. And when you get into the high sciences like astrology, you understand the nature of people. You feel me? That's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's simplified in layman's terms. Astrology is about the science of the soul. And the soul is the light source that is influencing the biological vessel. All right? And so, that's just what it is, family. If you guys would like to know more about it, you can hit me up. Cash App to show your support. I'm Mr. Tour 360 LLC. PayPal, Lacey Jones 1 at Lacey Jones 1 PayPal. All right. To show your support. Like I said, there's more content on the way, more new videos. And like I said, we hit y'all with a quantum perspective. Now, I know it's people who get money from being online, streaming, doing a little video, but I don't respect everybody. I'm gonna just keep it real, family. I'm not trying to be a negative person or anything, but it's like, if you're gonna take my time or take up my time, let me get something out of it, right? Some people may value money, some people may value health, being in good shape. It's different things that people value. You feel me? But if you want to take up somebody's time, let it be something that you get out of it, family. And at Omnivision EDU, we have nothing but substance, because that's my main focus. I don't want to say something and it's not meaning anything. And so anyway, if you go to the channel, there's hundreds of videos, hundreds of hours and minutes of content, all right, for educational purposes mostly, but we have vlogs about, real life and what's going on. I got some little videos like nature hikes, you know what I'm saying, with some friends, like rescuing animals and stuff like that, like I say, water signs like to help. And so anyway, sometimes you may see people, like I said, living out their astrology, family. And that's why we got to get more into it to understand, if you like to understand. Some people don't care because they're just focused on themselves. But when you understand that you are the universe and the universe is you, and that everything around you is a reflection of you, you know what I'm saying? Then you know that there's a correspondence between the external and the internal. And so hopefully I've left something of good substance with you guys today. Yes, it's been a blast. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Love and light. Brother Omnis, Black Power. Salute to the kings and the queens, the gods and the goddesses of the universe, planet Key. You know what I'm saying? You are blessed, you are highly favored, and everybody's special. You feel me? You just gotta learn your superpower. I know mine. Mine's in spirituality, intellect, and intimacy and relationship. You feel me? I ain't got to be with everybody. I ain't got to be for everybody. I ain't trying to be for everybody. You feel me? I just need my one person or persons, who we all on the same page. We all locked in on the same frequency. And we understand that we don't let everybody come into our covenant. We don't allow all impurities to contaminate what we got going on, family. And so I just look at it different. Some people feel like you can just run around, be unloyal, be unfaithful, do what you want to do, bring your partner diseases, running, just weird shit, family. Like, you ain't got to deal with individuals who think differently than you. But if you know that individual ain't on there and they don't move like that, don't bring that to them, family. Don't influence somebody who they ain't about that life. You feel me? And sometimes, unfortunately, that happens. You can have two people who lock in with chemistry, and it becomes sexual, and it ends up becoming more than what it should have been. You feel me? Maybe that's what happened in my situation. Trying to be Christian and thinking you can forgive and forget, and everybody deserve a chance, and everybody can have hope for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like, can't do that, family. So anyway, I'm getting older. As y'all can see, I got a few little grays. I'm saying a few years done passed by and got a little older, a little wiser. But it's all good. But yeah, love is love. Get it y'all on the next one. Salute. Brother Amos, Black News, Omnivision EDU. We out, family. Gotta get to work. Peace.